Millions of Americans living in these states should keep an eye out for direct deposits hitting their bank accounts and checks in the mail within the next 2 weeks, which is pretty much the next best thing when you don't have the infinite money glitch like billionaire Amazon founder Jeff Bezos to afford a $75 million support yacht just to float along in your $500 million mega yacht's wake. That's sole purpose is to house a fleet of luxury and exotic car collection. The yacht is called Aboina, and despite being a shadow boat, it is still larger than most yachts floating on the water. And it's large enough to accommodate 65 people, including medical personnel. But you know the old saying, it ain't tricking if you got it. Meanwhile, doom spending is how everyone's dealing with stress because the future is not guaranteed. And according to the Post, in the midst of a challenging economic climate, Gen Z and millennials in the US are engaging in doom spending, which is a trend where they indulge in luxury items and expenses despite financial uncertainties. Key points of this wildly crazy phenomenon include a shift in spending priorities where young Americans are reallocating funds typically reserved for long-term goals like home ownership or starting a family to shifting to immediate pleasures. And this shift is partly due to the perceived inaccessibility of these traditional milestones. I mean, a starter home today is roughly $1 million, folks. And prevalence of doom spending revealed from a study by Intuit Credit Karma found that 96% of Americans are worried about the economy and 48% concerned about affording basic necessities. Among those, 27% of Gen Zs and millennials are doom spending to alleviate stress related to inflation and high living costs. Meanwhile, living for the moment poses a huge problem for the future, but a significant portion of Gen Z, 73%, prefers to live in the moment rather than save for the future, which seems bleak to them. Join the club. Meanwhile, increased consumer activity only helps retailers, and data from the National Retail Federation shows a surge in shopping with record numbers of consumers participating in Black Friday and Cyber Monday sales. Holiday spending is expected to reach about $966.6 billion this year. As we move on to the financial implications, Credit Karma's study indicates that 32% of people engaged in doom spending have increased their debt in the last 6 months, with a quarter, 25%, 1 in 4, a quarter of those accumulating over $10,000 in debt. Additionally, 47% of Americans reported a decrease in their savings rate. And I can tell you right now, I know a ton of folks who couldn't get a $10,000 credit card limit. So that's pretty impressive. But who's to blame for all this, really? Well, let's look to social media influence, as platforms like Instagram have fueled this trend, with influencers engaging followers to indulge in luxury experiences, some having admitted to accruing significant debt due to spending aimed at boosting social media popularity. Folks are literally spending money, charging credit cards, going broke, going in debt, going deeper into debt, for clicks, likes, and followers, internet clout, and fame. And the folks on the other side of that spectrum, the inverse, are promoting it and encouraging and enticing relatively naive onlookers to engage in this practice, only being further pushed, propelled, and perpetuated by retail and other businesses interested in marketing and advertising. And I can tell you guys right now, I have the proof, I have the data to show you. However, as we discuss advice for financial management, which typically goes in one ear and out the other, financial experts suggest that those involved in doom spending conduct a thorough assessment of their finances using cash instead of cards, and removing stored card information online can help control spending. But this trend of doom spending just further highlights a generational response to economic challenges, where immediate gratification is prioritized over long-term financial security due to a sense of economic hopelessness and the influence of social media. Thanks, TikTok. And it's only getting worse, because young Americans are turning against boomers over Social Security And a survey from Redfield and Wilton Strategies for Newsweek reveals that younger generations in the U.S., particularly millennials and Gen Zers, are more inclined to believe that the Social Security system requires reform compared to older generations. And here are some of their key findings. Number one, general consensus on need for reform, as 63% of Americans agree that Social Security needs reforming, and this includes 28% who strongly agree and 35% who just agree. Meanwhile, the generational differences in perception, as millennials, Gen Zers, and Gen Xers are more likely than baby boomers to think Social Security should be reformed. Specifically, 70% of millennials, 56% of Gen Zers, and 69% of Gen Xers believe in the need for reform compared to 50% of boomers. The concerns over financial sustainability continue to keep people up at night, adding to their stress levels and anxiety. Many millennials, 52% actually, believe that Social Security is not receiving as much in tax payments as it is distributing in benefits, a view less commonly held among other generations. And the skepticism among younger generations remains. And author Morley Winograd notes that younger generations are skeptical about receiving robust Social Security benefits in their retirement, and partly due to political rhetoric. The economic burden on millennials is apparent. Millennials face economic challenges, including high tuition costs and lower average net worth compared to older generations. And Social Security's financial challenges continue to rear their ugly head, and the system is expected to face a 23% budget benefit cut in 2033 if no changes are made. Now, this could significantly impact retirees' income. Meanwhile, the potential solutions, according to experts, include benefit cuts or tax increases. Removing the income cap on Social Security taxes is suggested as an equitable way to raise funds. And as far as hope for the future, well, folks like Winograd suggest that a resilient U.S. economy, potentially boosted by innovations like AI, could sustain Social Security without drastic measures. But what do you guys think? But either way, the survey highlights a generational divide in attitudes towards Social Security and underscores the urgency of addressing its financial challenges. But hey, let's look on the bright side and focus on the positives, right? Goldman Sachs chief economist says the great disinflation is underway, and he expects 3 back-to-back interest rate cuts by summer. Bank of America warned of a mild recession at the beginning of the year, and now it says the Fed is close to sticking a soft landing. And Google to pay $700 million to U.S. states, consumers in Play Store settlement. And so Google has agreed to pay $700 million and to allow more competition in its Play Store app, according to the terms of an antitrust settlement with U.S. states and consumers filed in federal court on Monday. In separate complaints, the Justice Department and dozens of states accused Google in 2020 of abusing its dominance in online search by allegedly harming competition through deals with wireless carriers and smartphone makers that made Google search the default or exclusive option on products used by millions of consumers. The complaints eventually consolidated into a single case, and a Google spokesperson said in a statement Monday, "Today, the details of a settlement reached in September with state attorneys general were filed publicly." So, Google has agreed to pay a significant settlement related to a lawsuit filed in a San Francisco federal court. And the key points of this settlement include the total settlement amount, which Google will pay a total of $700 million. This includes $630 million into a settlement fund for you and I, for consumers, and an additional $70 million into a fund to be used by states. If you want more information on how to get your money, reach out, let me know. Now, beneficiaries include approximately 102 million consumers who are expected to benefit from the Consumer Settlement Fund and distribution of funds to consumers, which each eligible consumer will receive a minimum payment and additional payments proportionate to their spending on Google Play between August 16, 2016 and September 30, 2023, which I know that includes me because I'm an Android user and I don't have an app store. I have a Google Play Store. So I'm looking to get my money. Google's settlement said in their statement that Google emphasized that the settlement aligns with Android's principles of choice and flexibility while maintaining strong security and the company's competitive ability in the OS market. Google also highlighted its ongoing evolution to provide more flexibility, choice, and competition, especially against rivals like Apple. And in context of the settlement, this settlement comes amidst several antitrust challenges Google is facing. Notably, a recent federal jury verdict declared Google's app marketplace an illegal monopoly following a lawsuit by Epic Games, the maker of Fortnite. Additionally, the Justice Department has accused Google of stifling competition in its search engine operations. And I wouldn't be surprised if YouTube ends up on the next list of settlements, as YouTube has cornered the market when it comes to online video platforms, and Rumble is probably not too happy about that. Now, this settlement represents a significant development in the ongoing legal and regulatory scrutiny of major tech companies like Google over antitrust concerns. Plus, millions of Americans will receive $1,415 stimulus checks in next 2 weeks. So the Supplemental Security Income Program, or SSI, offers financial support to Americans in the United States with low incomes and few resources. And here are some of the key points of the program for 2023 and, most importantly, the anticipated changes for 2024. SSI payments in 2023 and 2024, where in 2023, the maximum monthly SSI benefit for single individuals is only $914, while for couples, it's $1,372. And these amounts are set to increase in 2024 to $943 and $1,415 respectively. There's going to be an impact of holiday spending, where many Americans face financial strain after holiday spending, especially those relying on SSI benefits, reflecting their limited income. Thus, saving money is crucial for them in the long term. Now, 2024 cost of living adjustments to COLA, Social Security Disability, SSDI, Social Security Disability Insurance, and SSI benefits will increase by 3.2% in 2024, and this adjustment is in response to inflation. The new monthly benefits will be $943 for single and $1,415 for couples, and $742 for the essential person. Also, the average increase for SSDI recipients, as the COLA increase will result in an average monthly payment of $1,537 for SSDI recipients in 2024, which is up from $1,489 in 2023. Now, the COLA announcement and notifications, folks, I want you to please pay close attention to these, as the Social Security Administration, the SSA, typically announces the COLA in autumn, in the fall, and based on the Consumer Price Index. Now, beneficiaries will be informed about the changes to their SSI federal payment amount for 2024 starting in December 2023. So you guys should be receiving that information. If not, please stay tuned, stay close. And these details can also be accessed via the My Social Security account. The eligibility for SSI payments, and these payments are for American citizens approved by Social Security, and married and qualified couples can receive the full amount of $1,415 without deductions, and single individuals can receive up to the $943 payment. The payment schedule adjustments are due to the bank closures on New Year's Day, so keep that in mind. And SSI recipients will receive their January payment in December. So you're getting 2 checks this month, okay? Additionally, in December 2023, SSI beneficiaries will receive 2 payments. Now, there is caution against overspending, and that is for beneficiaries, as they are advised not to overspend, as these payments are not bonuses but are meant to cover essential expenses. And the payment dates for different groups and individuals receiving SSDI payments before May of 1997, or those who receive retirement benefits or both SSDI and SSI, will have their first paycheck on January 3. So in summary, this not only highlights the importance of these adjustments, and it also highlights the impact that they have on the financial well-being of millions of Americans who are relying on SSI and SSDI benefits. Folks, please smash that like button and subscribe for more breaking news, updates, and important and helpful information that you need to know. Thanks for watching. I'm Kevin, and I will see you on the next one.
I can tell you my problems, meditating my silence. but I keep pushing my pen, rotating my stylus. Brokenness feeling like sin, now no breath, low dollar. Used to be left on red, now all the girls go holler. Now all the girls go follow. All the fake fans gon' pop.